the Quran defines the gospel as the teaching of Jesus. You already agreed to that. In Surah 5, it tells them to follow and judge by the gospel, which means the teaching of Jesus. So the answer, of course, is very easy. The legal teaching of Jesus, which I said in my slide on option 1, I said, the gospel of Jesus is embedded within the 4 gospels. You can find it in there, but it's not coextensive with it. Okay. Now, if you were to follow the law taught by Jesus, you would be following a lot of the Jewish laws. At least the Jewish Christians would have to follow certain laws. They'd have to follow the whole Torah, basically, except what Jesus has abrogated. And if you're a Gentile Christian, you should not be eating unclean meat. So do you have pepperoni pizza or do you not? And if you're a Jewish Christian, right, you have to follow the Torah. That's what Jesus taught. So again, what I think you keep doing here is you keep eliding the idea of the New Testament collection with the Quranic idea of the gospel, and these are not the same thing.
It's not what I'm doing.
Well, I think you are. So they're not the same thing. So when the Quran uses a word and it defines it, and then it uses the same word in the same surah many verses later, we don't forget the Quranic definition of the word and then read in New Testament. We have to track the Quranic definition of the word. And the primary problem with the Islamic dilemma, as you put it, is your first premise is the Quran affirms the revelation, authority, and preservation of a 27-book New Testament.
It does.
And the only thing that the Quran affirms is a gospel taught by Jesus. The Quran also says that a party among the children of Israel, which includes Christians, by the way, forged kitab. They wrote something and they said, this is from Allah. So your New Testament, from a Muslim perspective, is a mixture of the authentic teaching of Jesus plus things written about Jesus, as well as, and you brought this up, this whole thing of corruption of the interpretation. Well, the problem is the New Testament technically is a memory account of the teaching of Jesus, which has been transmitted like hadith, plus second, third, fourth generation interpretation of the teaching of Jesus. In the New Testament, both of this is mixed together. So even if you follow the minority view, which says the Christians corrupted the interpretation, but they kept the verbatim revelation, even if I grant that, your canon is a mixture of revelation and corrupt interpretation. They've been mixed together. So what the Quran allows you to do is it allows Muslims as well as contemporary Jews or Christians to recover some of that authentic gospel of Jesus. How do you do it? The Quran itself is supposed to serve as the arbiter and the criterion. And that's not just my opinion. I quoted at the end of my presentation Nikolai Sinai, who's not a Muslim. He himself said the Quran sees itself as the ultimate arbiter of all the prior scriptures and what they mean and what they're supposed to mean. So that is how you recover the original gospel. The other way to recover the original gospel, which we can do today, is if we use the historical critical method that I use to understand the Quran, if we apply that to the New Testament and to the 4 Gospels, we will be able to recover in high probability what the authentic teaching of Jesus was and what the other stuff that is just interpretation is.
Yeah,
okay.